Smile, be kind, don't compare, and don't complain. Make peace with yourself. Make peace with your past, and take care of your body and your mind. That sums it up. That's our yoga for today. See you tomorrow. Wouldn't it be fun to just go to Final Shavasana? Maybe that's what you decide to do. Go for it. Go for it, because this is your time. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. That's Bonnie. She's already asleep. And this is your yoga from home. That's the most important part. We have a class every single day, and we are live, and that's kind of unique. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. No cuts. Everything is just straight through, just like a real class, but it's from the privacy of your own home. That's the best part. I think that's the best part. I hope you enjoy your yoga. I hope you always enjoy your yoga. Dress the way you want, have the props you want, take the breaks that you need, and most of all, don't worry about how it looks. And it's all about how it feels. And today I think it's going to feel pretty good because we got some deep stretches to do. But whatever you do, at the bottom of the screen, it says, do what is right for your body. Don't hurt. If something hurts, don't do it. Back out of it. Give yourself permission to not do something if it's just not right. You've got to take care of the one and only body that you have. Your temple, your body's your temple. Let it be free to move the way it feels best. All right, so to do that, maybe you want to use some props, and I'll get to those in just a second, but the word I want you to think about is determination. Determination means that you are being resolute and you are set on your purpose. So, be set on your purpose today. Think about these deep stretches. Think about getting into them. Think about how your body can respond very positively to them. Okay, use some props today. You're going to really need some blocks. We're going to use these 2 blocks a lot today. So if you don't have blocks, find something like blocks. But the blocks are inexpensive, so buy some. Have them delivered online. Maybe they'll be delivered by drone. All right, have a strap handy, an eye shade and a little towel, and some water, and let's get started. Okay, come on down to a thunderbolt pose. That's what I'm in, thunderbolt pose. You're seated with your knees deeply bent and your back on your heels. So just have a seat like this. Have your blocks nearby. The other props can be, put aside for a little bit. And think about why you're here today. Lock in a stress number in your mind. What's going on in your body? That one and only body. What's going on? How do you feel? Where are you stiff? Where are you sore? Where are the aches and pains? Where, is your mind not settled? Lock in a stress number, scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, and let's work on bringing that down. You're in your thunderbolt pose. You're seated back on your heels. Hands on your thighs for just a moment. Close your eyes. Bring your shoulders back. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Feel the sigh come out the shoulders as you just relax. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And it might not feel really good to be on your knees. Something you could do is you could have a seat on your block. That helps a little bit. Or maybe you're seated with your legs out in front of you. It's okay. It's all okay. Let's do a little gentle palm tree here. So take your hands, lift them up to the sky, interlace your fingers, and you're going to sway from side to side. And in doing that, don't be too deep, too intense. We're going to get into it pretty deeply in a little bit. You'll really feel the stretch. But you're just kind of waking up. Big breaths in and big breaths out. Feel the nice, gentle stretch in your side body. All right, so we go from side to side with the spine. You know what we do next. We're going to go forward. So come back to the midline of your body with your shoulders over your hips and reach your arms long to the top of your mat. Bring your chest towards your thighs. So it's kind of like a combined classic child's pose in the legs and an extended child's pose in the arms. Big breath in. Big sighing breath out. As you breathe out, think of your tailbone going to the back of the room as opposed to going toward the ground. Crown of the head is to the front of the room, tailbone to the back. Let's come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Now find your 2 blocks and bring your blocks with you, because think of the blocks as bringing the ground up. Place your hands on your blocks and lift your chest up to the sky. Lean back into your blocks. Squeeze your shoulders together. Think of your chest lifting up to the sky. Kind of like, when we do bridge pose, what we say, tuck your shoulder blades under and create like a little shelf for your heart. Kind of do that here. Maybe it feels good to even bend your elbows a little bit as you lean on back. Press into your hands. Come on back up to seated with your shoulders over your hips. Put your blocks aside for just a second. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's do some arm circles. So tee out your arms and think of your fingers drawing on the sides of your room. Create little circles, squeezing the shoulders back. Maybe make the circles a little bit bigger. Eyes can be closed as you just get into the sensations in the shoulders. One of the poses we're going to do today is a broken wing pose. So you'll really get into your shoulders, but this is just kind of waking them up, getting the blood flowing. Take your circles in the other direction. Make the circles as big as you like or as teeny as you like. Shoulders are sensitive. Honor them wherever they are. Breathe. And then let's bring our arms down by our sides. Find your blocks again and bring them to the sides, outsides of your thighs. Place one block, one hand on your block. Lift the other arm high up to the sky. Really lift it high up. Feel the stretch in your side body. And then let that extended arm cross the midline of your body. Chin away from your chest, top shoulder back. Hand of the foundational arm is resting on the block. Now bend your elbow a little bit. Breathe. Really try to reach far here. And if you don't have a block, that's fine too. Bring your hand all the way down to the ground. Just breathe. Take your time here. Big inhales, find length through your side body. Big exhales through your mouth, let it go. Let the tension go, let the stress go. You can do this. Maybe bend the elbow a little bit more, keeping your knees down. And then slowly is the key. Come on up, back to a natural midline position. Other hand on the other block. Left arm or the opposite arm lifts. And then begin to have that arm cross the midline of your body. Maybe you don't go very far because that's where you choose to be because you're honoring what your body needs today. Maybe you bend the elbow a little bit more. Remember to keep the top shoulder back. You don't want to collapse forward. Keep it on back and your chin away from your chest. With or without the block, you decide. Soften in your jaws, reach through your fingers, bend in the elbow if you want. And then slowly come on back up to the midline of your body. Tee out your arms again, letting the backs of your hands work toward the back of your room. Feel like your chest really opening up like it feels when you do fish pose. Breathe. When you're ready, give yourself a big hug. One arm comes on top, the other arm goes beneath. Maybe the elbows cross the midline of your body. Reach your hands toward your spine. And as you're hugging yourself here, let your shoulders broaden. Think of the shoulders broadening to the sides of the room. Soften in the jaws, close your eyes, and just feel the goodness in your shoulders. Tuesday and Saturdays, we have a vinyasa practice, which is quick. Other days of the week, we do different things. Every practice is different. Today, Wednesday, we're mostly on the ground with a little bit of balancing if you choose to do it. And we hold the poses a little bit longer. Open up your arms nice and wide. Tee them out. Remember which arm was on top. Breathe here with the arms wide open. And then when you're ready, big hug with the opposite arm on top. Can you remember? I sometimes forget. That's all right. Squeeze your fingers towards your spine, nice tight hug, and then release the shoulders. Think of the shoulders going to the side of the room. Big breath in. Big breath out. A couple breaths on your own. The key here is really thinking of broadening the shoulders to the side of the room, softening in the shoulders, lengthening in the neck, ears away from the shoulders. Nice, tight hug. Deep breath in and deep breath out. All right, release the hug. Shrug your shoulders, move them a little bit. How do they feel? We'll come back to them in a few moments. Let's go into a child's pose and a little different variation. So bring those 2 blocks that we're using a lot today to the top of your mat. Bring your, from a neutral tabletop position, that's when your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Spread your knees a little bit wide, kind of like an extended child's pose, and bring your toes, big toes, to touch. Sink your hips back toward your heels and reach your hands for your blocks. Hands are on the blocks. Sink on down, chest toward the earth. And if this doesn't feel good, adjust your body so it does feel good. What we're after here is a lengthening of the spine, a nice stretch in the shoulders, and that stretch in the shoulders is even more intense if you're on the blocks. Maybe you'd prefer to not use the blocks, or maybe put a bend in your elbow. You want to lengthen the spine here. That's our child's pose. Our child's pose is just a moment of surrender where you allow the spine to lengthen as the tailbone goes to the back of the room and the crown of the head to the front of the room. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let the chest settle more toward the earth. Breathe. And if you don't like the blocks, move them. Now just get into this time we have together. The present moment. Don't worry about anything. Taking this little time out, this little pause, to allow your body and mind and spirit to calm down, to find mobility and flexibility is a great part of your day. The rest of your day will be so much better because of it. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Just relax. Let the forehead come toward the earth. Maybe it even rests on the earth. You can spread your knees a little bit wider if that feels good. And eventually, maybe, try to close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose only. Knees spread wide. Maybe they're so wide they're even off the edges of your mat. And if that doesn't feel so good, you could have turned your body 90 degrees so your knees could spread the entire distance of your mat. Or you could slip those towels under the knees. And if it feels okay, work your feet a little bit apart. So with the knees apart, that was a tadpole pose. Working the feet apart, bringing your shins more parallel to the sides of your mat, is a full frog pose. Ooh, you feel it in the upper inner thighs. Adjust. If it's painful, come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, you can do it. You've done many more things that are more uncomfortable than this. You can do it. Cross that threshold where discomfort becomes, okay, I can do it. If you got the blocks, slip them closer to your body so they're more under your forearms. So your wrists are kind of hanging off the edge of the block. Work your head down, forehead down to the block or to the mat, tailbone to the back of the room. Couple more breaths. Let's finish up. Come on out of the pose. Press on up, hands under your shoulders. Bring your knees on back in. Do it nice and slowly. Oh my goodness, it's pretty intense, isn't it? All right, come to your neutral tabletop. Don't let the blocks go too far away. Neutral tabletop, knees under hips, shoulders over wrists. Lengthen through your spine again. Press the tops of your feet into the mat and your hands too. Really press the earth away strongly. When you're ready, exhale the air out of your lungs for cat pose. Tuck your chin to your chest and your tailbone under. Hollow out your belly. Inhale, complementary pose, cow pose. Lift the crown of your head and your tailbone up toward the sky. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Don't forget to be active in the hands and the feet. Breathe. Finish up in your cat-cow. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Extend your right leg long. Plant the ball of the right foot onto the ground. Press that lengthened leg into the earth and feel the nice stretch in your calf. When you're ready, the right leg lifted up. Cross the midline of your body, squeeze tightly in the upper inner thighs. Place the ball of the foot on the ground and look over your left shoulder. Look back towards your foot, then maybe take your eyes up to your knee and maybe even to your bottom. When you're ready, bring the right leg around, sweep it around, plant the right foot on the earth, and lift your right arm up, up, up to the sky. Take a little twist here as you look up to your hand. Finish, right hand plants, right knee comes back to meet the left. Other side, left leg extends, ball of the foot on the earth. Press into your hands, press into the ball of that left foot. Feel the nice stretch in the calf. When you're ready, maybe you want to stay here, and that's fine. You design this practice to work for you. Next step, if you want, lift the leg up, cross the midline of the body, squeeze in the upper inner thighs, plant the top of the left foot down on the right side of the body. Look over your shoulder to the foot. Maybe you look to the ankle or the knee or your bottom. Bring the left leg around to about hip height. Plant the foot and lift the left arm up, up, up to the sky and twist. Look up. Look up to your left fingers. Take it a little farther maybe. And then finish. Hand comes down, left knee meets the right knee, and let's do cat-cow. Tuck your chin to your chest, tailbone under. Crown of the head lifts, tailbone lift. Come back to a neutral tabletop, broken wing. Lift your right arm up, up, up to the sky, and kind of take that little twist. Think of your whole torso twisting a little bit more. Look up to your right fingers. And then exhale, release. Right arm, threads under the left. Right palm, face up. Come down to your right shoulder onto the mat, or maybe use a block. Bring your shoulder to the block. Left arm reaches long to the top of the mat. Shoulder can be on the block. Your right cheek could be on the block, or no block at all. Sink your hips back a little further to your heels. Reach the left arm to the top of the room, right arm to the side of the room. Adjust your knees to however feels good for you. Relax in your right shoulder. Couple of breaths. Let's finish. Unthread the needle, sweeping the arm back to its starting position. Left arm under your left shoulder. Right arm goes high to the sky and your gaze goes with it. Right hand plants. We got another side to do. So let's begin by lifting the left arm up, up, up. I think this one is a pose where you can really feel the difference so quickly. So look up to your left hand. Maybe you can't look very far, but in a few moments you will. Let's twist. Exhale, bring the left arm down, thread the needle here. Right arm reaches to the top of the mat. Use your blocks wherever you like if you want to use them. Sink your left cheek down to wherever is right for you. Breathe here. Adjust your knees so you can get that shoulder fairly comfortably down. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Maybe sigh it out on an exhale. Let it go. Shoulder is down. Right arm is reaching long. Let's finish. Bring the left arm out, unthread the needle. Right arm slides back to under the right wrist. Left arm goes back up, up, up to the sky, and maybe your gaze can go a little farther this time. Look up to the left hand. Hold it there, you got it, and then finish. Left arm comes down around a cat-cow, always feels good. Chin to your chest, tailbone under. Breathe it out. Inhale, cow, crown of the head lifts, and your tailbone lifts. Nice job. Let's do our plank pose. All right, we set a timer for 1 minute. You don't have to do it for a minute. It's just there for you to measure if you want to measure how you're progressing in the pose. For a plank, lots of ways to take it. If you're new to it, you might want to come from a neutral tabletop, slipping your arms more forward. We're spreading your knees a little bit wider apart and hinging forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. You could hold your plank right here. The idea is you want to feel more weight in your arms and your upper body. If this doesn't feel good for your wrists, slip on down to the forearms. Have your elbow underneath your shoulder. Adjust your legs, however feels right for you, pushing the forearms into the mat. You could tuck your back toes, lift your legs on up, and come into a forearm plank. That's a nice variation. Many possible variations. Do what is right for you. I'm going to come into a high plank. I'm going to set the timer, and you just if you want to, measure how far you've come from day to day. For a high plank, you'll send your legs long, press into straightened arms. Wrists under shoulders is important. Legs long is important. Set up in the variation of plank that you like, and let's begin our timer now. All right, 1 minute timer. Here we go. Remember, shoulders and wrists are in line. Feet, legs are long on your mat. We've got 10 seconds in this pose already. Spread your fingers wide. That helps too. Even kind of Spider-Man or gecko grip your fingers into the mat. We're 20 seconds in. Nice job. To take a break if you like, drop to your knees for a second or two. That's no big deal. We're halfway there, you guys, 30 seconds. Another variation would be to push your hips high into a downward facing dog. But take the breaks that you need when you need them. Just 20 seconds to go. You've got this. Core is engaged, crown of the head lengthens to the front of the room. Energy's coming out your heels. You've got 10 seconds left to say you did a 1 minute plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. You did it. Come out of your pose, whichever variation you're in, and grab a drink. Plank, you know how important it is. Read up about them. Probably the best thing you can do all day long is your plank. Build strength. Grab a drink. Hello to Marietta, to Tina, to Karen, to Roger, to Kelly. Let's come into Pentacle. Come on down to your mat. All right. Remember this pose, Pentacle pose. Spread your legs wide. Bring your body as if it were into a capital letter X shape. Arms overhead. Whew. Enjoy the getting here. Legs spread wide, arms spread wide. Your body looks like the capital letter X. Remember this pose, because in a little bit, you're gonna have a choice. And the choice is, do you wanna come back to Pentacle, so you'd make your way here, or do you wanna do a few standing poses? Today's little standing variation is a little different. All we're gonna do is tree pose, but we're gonna do several variations of tree that have some cute names. So you're resetting your body right now, everything reset to the midline. Shoulders are back and down on your mat. Breathe in your Pentacle pose. Big breath in, and big breath out. All right, let's make our way up to seated. You can keep your legs wide if you want. Bring your arms down by your sides and press on up to a seated position. Find your 2 blocks, legs spread good and wide with the blocks between them. You can stay right here. Maybe you got a bend in your knees. That's okay. Everybody starts somewhere, right? And sometimes your body's just limited. It just can't move certain ways. Hinge forward if you like. Place your forearms onto those blocks. Lengthen through the crown of your head as you inhale, and as you exhale, bring your chest closer to your blocks. Blocks can be at whatever height you like. Resting forearms, arms, chest, forehead on the blocks, you decide. Big breath in. And remember, big breath out. It's more relaxing to the body if you take exhales that are a little bit longer than your inhales. But keep your breath long and deep. If your breath becomes shallow, it means you're working too hard. Maybe scoot the blocks a little more forward. Feel how that feels on your inner thighs. And remember, blocks are great. They've got all kinds of different heights. You adjust the height to what feels perfect for you. Big breath in, big breath out. Soften your shoulders. On Thursdays and Sundays, we do restorative yoga. And that's where we hold these poses longer so your body really surrenders into the depth of the pose that's right for you. Today, we're going to come out of this pose now. But if you want to stay here longer, it's up to you. Go for it. What I'm going to do now with these 2 blocks is I'm going to bring the blocks to this inside and outside of my right knee. All right, blocks are to the inside and outside of the right knee. Let's start with the blocks nice and high, right? Okay, we'll start with them nice and high. Twist your torso so you're facing that leg and maybe bring your forearms down on the block. And let the crown of your head reach to the front of the room. Keeping both legs spread wide and down on your mat. Maybe lower the height of your blocks as time progresses, keeping both bottom cheeks down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Now, if it's a little too much, maybe bring the block onto your shin and let your forehead rest on it. At whatever height feels good. Adjust the height of your blocks so you feel supported. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold more forward. It helps to close the eyes. Close the eyes and just imagine that you're getting closer and closer to your knee. Big breath in, it pushes you away a little bit because your belly fills up and it lifts you up. And big breath out allows you to release a little bit more. Maybe, this is where a half block would be nice. You adjust to a smaller block, or maybe you bring your forearms down to your mat. Big breath in, big breath out. Maybe blink your eyes open and marvel at how close you are to your knee. Walk your hands back towards your body as you lift on up, still with your torso facing your knee. Slowly come back to the midline of your body and do it on the other side as well. So start with the blocks at their highest height, surrounding the opposite knee. Maybe you're fine and content here with your hands on your blocks, turning your torso toward the leg. Inhale, lengthening up with the eyes closed. Exhale, softening in the shoulders and imagining the chest coming more to your thigh. Adjust the blocks to the level that feels fantastic for you today. Inhale, lengthen. exhale, let it go. And remember that little trick, you could bring the block up to your leg. If you just want that little support. And just know that if your head's on that block and the block is on your knee, you're what? You're about 4 inches from your knee? That's pretty incredible. Adjust the blocks accordingly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, surrender. Shoulders are soft. Breath is long. Maybe it's time to open your eyes and see how close you are to your knee. Slowly press on up, keeping the torso facing that extended leg. Once your shoulders are up over your hips, then come back to the midline of your body. Nice job. Bring your legs together, blocks to your side, and strap nearby. Let's come on down and do some bicycle with pulses. So come on down, all the way down to your back. Once you're on your back, lift your legs on up, knees over your hips, toes drawn toward your shins, staying right here. Might be just where you want to be. It's not easy, is it? If you want to stay here, you could do dead bug. You'd take your hands and press them into your thighs, pressing the hands into the thighs and the thighs back into the hands, but that's not what I'm going to do today. But maybe that's what you do, because you do you. I'm going to bring my fingers lightly to my temples, elbows open wide. I'm going to start to bicycle. I'm going to lift my shoulders up, and I'm going to bring my opposite elbow toward my opposite knee while the opposite leg is extended. That's a lot of opposites. So, opposite knee, opposite elbow. But let's take it to pulsing. Bring one elbow toward one knee and just pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. A little closer, a little closer, a little closer. Other knee to opposite elbow. Close, close, close. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Go back to the starting knee. A few little pulses, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 5. Other side, just a few. You got it. Shake it up. Just even out, Maybe it's 3, 5, 10 pulses, but just even it out. Let's finish. Legs go long, arms go high overhead. Stick pose, reach the fingers, point the toes, long to opposite sides of your mat. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's find your strap and do boat pose. With your strap today, let's bring the center of the strap underneath the soles of the feet. Legs are high up to the sky. Hold on to your strap. Give them a tug, maybe a bend in your knees. Let that feel really good. Elbows hugged into your sides. Let's imagine our heels are super weighted. Let the heels work toward the earth. As the heels work toward the earth, maybe tuck your chin to your chest. Slowly start to roll on up. Come on up and bloom out of your chest. Lift the chest to the sky, keeping the shoulders back. Legs are extended long, and you got a grip on this strap. Breathe. Hold it here. You're leaning back like you're in a beach chair, but you're not collapsed and rounded in the shoulders. Chest is lifted high to the sky. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Esther. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Stan. Hi, Dawn. How are you? I am glad that we're doing yoga together. You guys make me do it. You guys bring me to my mat every day, and I am so thankful for that. All right, hold on here. Lean back a little bit more. Lean back. Challenge yourself. Lean back. Challenge yourself in your boat. Breathe. You got it. You got it. You got it. Lean back. Now lift your chest up to the sky. Come on up a little bit more. Maybe heels lift a little bit more. Breathe. You got good balance here. Now let's finish. Bring your heels on down nice and slowly with control. Hinge forward. Grab the strap into both hands. Just take a nice little assisted forward fold here. You did this a moment ago, bringing your forehead to your knees in a much harder position. So let this be. Let's finish. Remove the strap. Now, here's your choice. You can come back to pentacle here, or if you want to do a little bit of standing, that's what I'm going to do. So remember pentacle, fully reclined, and all four limbs reaching to all four corners of the room. We're going to get up, but we're going to get up in a very yogic way. We're going to get up in a downward dog. So crisscross your legs, hands to your mat, send your legs bottom high to the sky. Legs are long, heels lifted, feet hip width distance apart, hands shoulder width distance apart. Tailbone lifts to the sky. Pedal it out in your feet. Shake your neck, loosen it up. This is your downward facing dog. Finish up. Still your heels. Work the heels more toward the earth. Embrace the burn and walk your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale, arms sweep on up as we do tree pose. All right, for your tree pose today, fun little different names. We've got a twisted tree to begin. Here's the deal. For your twisted tree, same pretty much as regular tree, but it's going to challenge your balance a little bit more. Root into your left foot. Weight out of the right. Open up the right foot to the side of the room. You can kickstand the foot, bringing the heel of the right foot to the inside of the left ankle. There you go. Hands to prayer center. If you'd like, slip the foot up a little bit more, or slip the foot even higher up onto the thigh. Just don't put the foot, you know where, don't put it on the knee. Check out your hips. They should be equidistant to the front of your room. Outside of the right knee to the back of the room. Shoulders over your hips. Now, lift your arms on up to the sky, kind of like extended mountain arms, but branches. And then twist your entire torso and your shoulders to the right. This takes some concentration. Send your gaze to the right as you take the twist in your twisted tree a little bit deeper. Try to keep your hips stationary, both reaching to the front of the room at an equal distance. You're just twisting your upper body. Bring it on back to the midline. Takes some concentration, doesn't it? And then twist it in the opposite direction. Keep the foot pressed into the leg and the leg back into the foot. And breathe. Twist it. Bring it back to center. Nice job. Hands to prayer center. Right knee guides to the front of the room. Right foot plants on your mat. We have another side to do. When you're ready, bend the left knee. Open up the left knee to the side of the room, just like we always do. Find the position of the foot that suits you best in this pose. Press the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Breathe. Hands to prayer center. Hips equidistant to the front of the room. Maybe you look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet and hold it here. Grow your branches like we normally do, lifting the arms high up to the sky, and then twisting to the left. Use your eyes to guide you. Twisted tree. Hold it. You got it. And you know what? If you fall out, that means you're learning. That means you're pressing your limits. The key to success is getting back in. Don't let that fall take you out of the game. Get back in. I'm back to center now, and I'm going to twist to the other side. Isn't that the truth, though? I mean, you got to push your limits, and you'll fall out. And that's fine. Get back in and do it again. Come back with that twist. The eyes really help and matter here, don't they? Come back to center. Hands back to prayer center. Left knee to the front of the room. Left foot meets right. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Soften in the shoulders. Another variation of tree that you know, cute name, windy tree. All it is growing your branches. All right, root into the left foot, weight out of the right. Open up the knee to the side of the room. Place the foot in a different position. If you always go high, take it midway here. Drive the knee to the back of the room. Grow your branches and sway them. Sway your branches so much, like a tree in a really strong windstorm, that maybe you do fall out. Push yourself to the point of falling out, and then get right back in. Challenge your balance. And then let's finish. Hands back to center, knee to the front of the room, right foot meets left, other side. Bend the left knee, place the foot in a different position than you normally do. Grow your branches high and start to sway your branches. Sway them, move them, challenge your balance. Challenge it. And if you don't fall out, you didn't go far enough. And when you're ready, you got to come right back. Don't quit after a fallout. Come right back in. And then hands back to center, knee to the front of the room, left foot meets right. One more variation of tree. This one you know, this one we've done before, but it's got a cute name. It's midnight tree. All right, you've challenged your balance. You've twisted, you've lost your balance, you've gotten right back in the game. This one, midnight tree, all it is closing the eyes. So, hands to center. Weight into the left foot, weight out of the right. Place the foot wherever you like to place it, pressing the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Get your position of tree nice and aligned. Hips, shoulders equidistant to the front of your room. Back of the knee to the back of the room. Hands to prayer center. You can grow your branches if you like. I'm going to do something different and keep them right at prayer center. I'm going to look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. I'm going to soften my shoulders and realize I am strongly rooted in my left foot. Now, midnight tree. Close your eyes a little bit or a lot. Take that blink. Embrace those little micro movements in your feet that keep you stable. You got it. Let's finish. Knee to the front of the room. Right foot meets the earth. Other side. Right foot is foundation. Left foot. Place it where you like. Inside that right leg. Push the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. I'm going to keep my hands at prayer center. Shoulders are over my hips, nicely aligned, nice and tall, lifting out of the crown of my head, looking up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Challenging myself with a little bit of a blink and a little longer blink. If you fall out, remember, no big deal. Get right on back in. Let's finish. Knee to the front of the room, left foot meets right, arms go high, extended mountain. Big breath in, exhale, big breath out. Let's fold forward and let's all come back down to our mat. If you're in pentacle, come out of your pentacle pose. How did you like the little 3 different variations of tree? Something different, something good for us, right? Just shake it up and learn. When you fall out, that's when you learn. Come down to your belly. Let's do Superman, swimmer, with a couple of variations. All right, you're on your belly. Arms reach long to the top of your mat. Legs are long toward the edges of your mat. Nose, chin are down on the mat. Superman. Remember this one? You can lift one leg. You can lift the second leg. Maybe you lift both legs. Maybe one arm lifts, then the other lifts, and you're flying like Superman. Stay right here. You can take it to swimmer. Kick your feet. Kick your feet, your arms are going to just move naturally, lengthening through the spine. Breathe. Finish. Come on down. So even Superman needs to rest, right? Legs down, arms down. Breathe. Let's get back to it. Lift your legs, one or both. Lift your arms, one or both. This time, sweep your arms down by your sides. Sweep your arms down by your sides, palms face down. Reach your fingers towards your feet and lift out of your chest and hold here. Breathe. Strengthen. You got it. Everything comes on down. Bring your arms back to that Superman, reaching your mat. Take a deep breath in. Everything rests. Deep breath. Let's do it again. Then the other. Both arms up. Fly like Superman. This time, sweep your arms back around, but flip your hands so your palms are up. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. Thumb is pressed into your bottom, but reach your fingers toward the back wall. Let them climb up the back wall. Lift, open up through your shoulders, and finish. Come on down. Whew. Hands underneath your collarbones. How was that? Press into seal pose. Arms straighten. Soften in your glutes. Space in your hips. Press on up. Press on up to standing on your knees. Find your 2 blocks. Bring one block between your ankles. Give it a good squeeze here. The other block, bring it down to your right side. All right, you're standing on your knees. Place your hands at your low back. Fingers down. Open up your chest and look up right above you. Push your hips more forward. Breathe. Come back up, shoulders over your hips. Find your right hand, find your block. With your hand on that block, let's twist to the right. Think of the block as bringing the ground up to you. Left arm lifts and lean on back. Push into your block. Breathe. Chin away from your chest. Breathe. Reach toward the back of your room. Other side. Come on back up. Shoulders over hips. Bring your block to your left hand. Bring your block to your left side. Right arm lifts high to the sky. Left hand finds the left block. Reach. Hand to the block. Reach. Come on back up. Shoulders over your hips. Nice job. Hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Push your hips forward. Look up. Finish up. Remove your blocks and come down to your seat. Come down to seated, legs extended long. Arms go up. Exhale, reach forward. Reach for your toes. Reach for your toes, your calves, your ankles, whatever you can reach. Hinge forward. Come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Find one block. Other block can go to its side. Bring your eye-shapen towel to the top of your mat. Come on back to a thunderbolt position where we started in the warm-up. Have a seat on your heels. How do your knees feel now? They always seem to be tight when you start, but obviously the more you move them, motion is lotion, the better you feel. All right, have a seat on your heels. If that doesn't feel good, put the block back there and have a seat on your block. Create a little bit of space between your knees, but keep your knees on the ground. Let's do a hero's pose. All right, so for your hero's pose, you can sit on the block and stay right there, or remove the block and have a seat on your bottom. Your heels are right up by the outsides of your hips. Take this block, if you're down here on your bottom, excuse me, Piper, bring the block behind you. So it's gonna bring the ground up to you. If it feels good, you can come on back, use your hands here like we did when we did those side bends earlier. Use your hands here and just see how far you want to go. Now you got the block back here. Maybe you can come back and realize, oh, hey, the ground's not too far away after all. This is all right. Maybe you can let your head hang back if that feels good, like you do in fish pose. You can give yourself a foot massage because your hands are right here by your feet. Knees are down. You can stay right here. If you want to take your hero's pose a little deeper, less deep for the neck, but it's a deeper stretch in the quadriceps, you can remove your block and bring your shoulders all the way down and your head all the way down too to the mat. Big stretch in your quads, isn't it? Don't you feel that? Big breaths in and big breaths out. Arms, you can lift them up high overhead. Kind of changes things up a little bit. You can bend your elbows and reach for opposite elbow creases. Keeping your shoulders down, keeping your elbows down. How do you like it? Take some more deep breaths. And then if you want to stay here, go ahead and stay. I'm going to press on out of it. I'm going to bring my hands back toward my feet, work myself up to my elbows and my hands, and come out of the pose. Come out of it however you're in it. All right, come to a seated position. In your seated position, bend your knees. We're going to take a seated twist today. We haven't done that lately. So I'm going to bend my left leg deeply, and I'm going to bring my left heel to my right glute. The right leg, I'm going to bring it on over on top. The right toes are going to shine forward, and I can hug my thigh in here, or hug my knee in here. Or right hand becomes a kickstand. Bring it behind my back, because the right leg is the one that's on the top. Right leg is a kickstand into the earth, and I'm going to twist to the right. We've done a lot of twisting today. Maybe you, with your left hand, hold onto your knee and twist. Look to the right. Maybe you extend the right arm long, palm open, and you push the forearm into the leg and look right. Don't rush, don't hurry, don't worry, just get into the depth here. Slowly finish, slowly, slowly, really slowly. Come back to the midline, take a little counter twist, and then switch it out, other leg. Okay, my left leg was really bent. This time, right leg is gonna really bend, right heel to the left glutes. And if you can't get that far, don't sweat it. Don't say, oh, I can't. Don't, do what you can, right? Other leg on top, left leg on top, left toe shining forward. Hug the knee in. Both bottom cheeks are down. This is a pretty intense pose. You feel it in your glutes, those big muscles back there. Left hand, I'm going to use as a kickstand and twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. How deep can you take that twist? Right hand, maybe open it up. I think this is Lord of the Fishes pose is what this one's called, I think. Let the pinkies go, it is called that. Let the pinky fingers come toward the earth and twist. Twist. Kind of the same sensation that we get when we do our supine twist, but just a little different. Let's finish up. Slowly bring your body back to the midline and take that little counter twist. And finish up. Let's take a block to the bottom of your mat. You could actually take 2 blocks, if they're handy, to the bottom of your mat. Extend your left leg long. Place it on the block. You come to recline. Take your right leg up, pick it up, and place the right leg on top of your left thigh or wherever feels right, and let the outside of the right knee fall toward the earth in this reclined tree pose. You have the extended leg lifted to give you greater distance from the earth to allow that hip to open up, the right hip. And you can get fancy and bring your arms overhead or sway your branches or whatever feels good. Really focus on letting that right knee, the outside of the right knee, come toward the earth. Switch it up. Bring the right knee back to the midline of the body and then put your right heel on that other block or scoot the single block over underneath it. Bend your left knee. Place the outside of the left ankle on top of the right leg. And I don't know how high up you bring it. You decide what feels good for you. Oh, that feels different down low. But you work it so it feels comfortable for you. Mobility and flexibility, so important in your body and in your mind. And I think when you move your body, your mind feels better. And that in and of itself is important. All right, that is your reclined tree. Guess what? It's time for your final Shavasana pose. But those blocks are down there. Let's bring the left knee back to the midline of the body and then extend the left leg long. And if you got both blocks, you can rest the calves, both calves, adjust the blocks. You can scoot them up with your legs. Adjust them so it's comfortable. Maybe you like them under the heels or higher on the calves. This feels good on your low back. I feel that instantly when you have the feet slightly lifted. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Bring your arms down by your sides, palms face up, shoulders away from your ears. Wiggle those shoulders a little bit closer to your spine. And come into your final Shavasana. pose of peace. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Maybe the pinky toes fall a little bit more toward the earth as you just kind of feel that space in your hips. Deep breaths. Softness in your face, heaviness in your limbs. Just a peace that permeates your entire stretched out body. Stay here as long as time allows you. If it's time to conclude your hour, wiggle those toes and fingers. Move the wrists and ankles. Arms high overhead, toes point to the bottom. Stretch it out like it's your first good morning stretch of your day. Bend your knees and elbows and roll into a fetal position. Doesn't matter which side, you just enjoy the getting there. Low arms bicep is a pillow for your lovely head. Top shoulder relaxes. Eyes are closed. This is your breath. Take a deep cycle here. When you're ready, slowly float on up to a comfortable seated position. Get there however you like. Sit however feels right today. I'm gonna sit in a deer pose with both knees bent, both feet going in the same direction because my hips feel great. How about you? Bring your hands to prayer center. Eyes are closed. Lengthen up through your spine. Shoulders are over your hips. Neck is long. You are in really good shape. Exhale, let it go, all the tension go. Root into the solid foundation beneath you and soften in your shoulders. Gently blink, your eyes open. Ta-da, you did it. You did an hour-long yoga practice, and most importantly, I think time flies by really fast, but most importantly, feel how you feel. Go back to that stress number to have a quantifiable measure of, hey, what did it do for me with this time that I gave on my mat, this hour? What did it do for me? How do my shoulders feel after doing that broken wing? How do my hips feel after all that hip work today? I did plank. I'm stronger. How do you feel? How do you feel mentally? How do you feel in your spirit? It's all so important, and your yoga brings it all together. Thank you for letting me be here with you today. Ask your friends to join us. Our yoga is free every single day, and it's free, and it's so good for you. Why not do it? So love yourself, love the path you're on, make peace with your body, and just be kind to you and smile. Bye. See you tomorrow. You were kind of a little wild one today, weren't you? Look at your sister. She's over there being good. Hey, Bonnie. Bonnie. Good girl. Good girl. Bye. Come on, Grandma. If you're watching this and you stuck around after doing your yoga, you know that your yoga really has a positive effect on the stress in your life. You know that the yoga helps bring your stress down, and that's so important. Share that with your friends. Tell them about our yoga. Have them join us every single day live on Facebook and on YouTube. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody, so there's no excuse not to do it. Everybody needs to bring their stress levels down, especially during this time of year. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. See you on your mats tomorrow so you can live that stress-free life.